同学们好
Lao Chi Hao.
Thank you. Hello. So it is the 7th of February. We're in class 24. We'll be doing Strike Tigers today. And the other thing that's going to be, so there's going to be some new footwork in Strike Tigers. So I think it's the first time we're going to go from a one-leg stance into a bow stance. We'll be doing various versions of one leg to bow stance, but I think this is the first time we do it in the form. We'll also be looking at some new applications with deflects and strikes to the head. The other thing that we're starting this month is that for the next 10 months, each month we'll be focusing on one of the 10 essentials. And so this month we'll be focusing on the first essential, which is, in short, head up. And so actually what I want to do is to just share a few slides with you. We'll dig in as we go, but let me just bring the slides up. We're talking about the 10 essentials. You may well know the term. You may well know all the 10 essentials. To review, they were a summary by Chengfu, who codified Yang family Tai Chi Chuan around about the turn of the 19th to 20th century. And these were, in fact, his oral instructions recorded by one of his disciples. So when you actually read the material, some of it's Yang Chengfu and some of it's Chen Wei Ming. The material in the 10 essentials summarizes stuff that's in various so-called classics, which are old documents of uncertain age and provenance that are in the Yang family, some are in the Wu family. And in fact, I think that not only the Yang family and the Wu Hao people use these 10 essentials, I've heard people in Qin style talk about them too. So why do we study the 10 essentials? Broadly speaking, they help us to achieve balance. And the reason why balance is important, if you think about Tai Chi Chuan is about yin and yang, we want to have yin and yang in balance. So how do we bring yin and yang in balance? That's really what Tai Chi Chuan is about, for different combinations of yin and yang. Two kinds of balance. One is central balance, just physical balance, how we actually center our body so that our body is well balanced. And then the other one is just how to make sure our internals, our breath is balanced and even and quiet. Then the other side is energy balance, which is hard energy and soft energy. And as we go through the 10 essentials over the next 10 months, we'll be talking about a few of those, a few minutes every week. So for February, this is the essential we usually talk about first. The Chinese is very hard to translate, apparently. One translation is empty, lively, pushing up, and energetic. And just to give you a sense, there is Yang Chengfu. And here is one way of arranging the 10 essentials. 10 is a much bigger number than anybody can remember. But the first four are arranging the body frame. It's body posture, really. And those are the ones we always do when we practice our standing practice. The first one is pushing up the head. So let's do that now. So we'll start with standing practice. We'll start in the usual way, feet shoulder width apart. Just perhaps a little bit wider if you want. Bend the knees, sink your weight into the bubbling well. In other words, weight even forward back. Round the arms in front of the chest. And to just remind you, we'll spend just 2 or 3 minutes here. The first one is head up. So feel the crown of your head extending up. And you're feeling a sense of rising, of pushing up. Now, you don't want to push up too much, because if you concentrate all your strength pushing up in your upper body, you become very stiff in the upper body and your lower body becomes weak and light. So at the same time, feel as if your head is suspended by a string and the rest of your body is just sinking down. From the neck on down, everything's hanging down. So this is the feeling of empty, lively, pushing up and energetic. Now the other ones, just to review: shoulder down, elbow down, absorb the chest round the back, and relax the waist. You know all of these. I'm just going to spend a little time talking about the first one. So the first one is about posture, making sure your head is up, everything else is sinking down, you're stacked. The center of your head is over the center of your pelvis, is between your feet. So everything is nicely stacked. You've got a straight up and down posture. The other subject of this essential is expressing your spirit. So as you are standing here, feel that you're looking out to the horizon. You're essentially addressing the world, as if you're saying, hello world, I'm here. And so expressing our spirit through our physical shape is part of our practice in Tai Chi Chuan. And our shape helps us express the spirit that we have in our hearts and minds. So relax from that posture. I also want to spend a few minutes in bow stance, because in the work we're going to do today will be in bow stance. So 1 foot to the corner, 1 foot to straight, shoulder width apart. Shift your weight forward. Make sure you've got 60% on the front, 40% on the back leg straight but not locked. Crotch rounded, so knees not collapsed in, crotch rounded, and your hip centered on these railway lines through your heels, front to back, so not leaning over this way. Crotch rounded. Your torso is leaning forward slightly. Bring up the arms. Let's spend a minute in this posture. So we're in bow stance. The same essentials apply. So let's focus on empty, lively, pushing up and energetic. So think about your head. Even though your torso is leaning forward, the crown of your head is up. The front of your face is parallel, is vertical. And at the same time, your shoulders are sinking down. Your waist is opening and extending so that your weight is into the feet. Another part of sinking down, feel your shoulders dropping and your elbows dropping. This is the posture that we'll want in Strike Tigers. What's going to be particularly important with Strike Tiger is to make sure that you're not leaning over. That's one of the habits that we get, particularly with Strike Tiger because of the arms. We lean over. So torso vertical, crotch rounded. Change your footwork. Shift your weight back, bring the front foot back, step to the corner, shift out, step to the straight direction, shift forward, torso leaning forward, head up. Again, we'll focus on the first essential, which is lively, empty, pushing up, energetic. So feel a liveliness in your mind, in your heart, and look at the world and express that spirit. At the same time, you're pushing up the crown of your head, your head is rising, everything else is sinking down. Feel your weight sinking down into the soles of your feet. Check your foundation, your legs. So front leg bent, back leg straight, not locked, just a little bit bent. Crotch rounded. Your tailbone between your hips, so not to one side. And make sure that you're nice and stable here. Let's do the other posture essentials. We've done head up. So do shoulder sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest, so feel that circle in your arms. relax the waist. That's perhaps the challenge here. And it's always fine to relax your arms if it gets too much for you. And actually, just for future reference, you can always practice if you want to practice with your arms here. If this becomes tiring, you can always just practice here. You can still get that arms rounded. So let's bring the back foot in. Let's do a little bit of warm-up for those who didn't join us for the warm-up before the class. Circle the hips to one side, and let's come back to the other side. Now we'll do a little bit of waist opening, loosening, bend the knees so that your hips aren't going to go anywhere. Turn the chest, try and keep the hips in the same position. So you're just turning the lumbar spine, the lower spine, and let your chest movement swing your arms from one side to the other. We're not going to do any waist exercises today because I want to spend time on review and strike tiger. And having done that, let's do the shoulders. So pushing the shoulders open, pulling them open. You can just do keeping your fists in front of your chest. I quite like alternating. Closed and then open gives a little bit more of a stretch in the shoulders. And without going up and down, just open the shoulders in the other direction. Be very careful with these and all the exercises. Stay within your limitations, but just extend out to the edge of your envelope. Okay, let's end there. So we're going to practice the second section to where we got to last time, which is the right heel kick after parry, block, and punch. One of the things I invite you to do as we practice, I'll just call the movements, is if there isn't anything in particular that you want to work with right now today, think about head up. So through this whole process, through this whole practice of the form, whenever your mind wanders, bring it back to the crown of your head. Feel your head lifting up, your posture nice and straight. And even when you're doing needle at the C bottom, feel the string so that you're not doing needle at the C bottom like this. You've still got your head up. You're looking over here, but your head is still pulling up. Let's do this and practice a little bit, get our bodies moving before Rogelio freezes. So we're going to start in cross hands at the beginning of the second section. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Transition to fist under elbow. Fist under elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. 1, 2, 3. Diagonal flying. Raise hands. Step forward. Is your head still up? White crane. Spreads its wings. As you look forward, express your spirit. Left brush knee. Needle at sea bottom. Fan through the back. Turn body. Chop with fist. Step forward. Parry, block, and punch. Step up. Grasp bird's tail. Roll back. Press. Push. Transition to single whip. Single whip. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Single whip. High pat on horse. Transition to right separation kick. Right separation kick. Transition to left separation kick. Left separation kick. Turn body. Left heel kick. Parry, block, and left brush knee. Right brush knee. Step forward, punch down. Turn body. Chop with fist. Parry, block, and punch. Step up, right heel kick. And stop there. Okay. How was that? Any questions? Anything that anybody wants to review, work on, explore? Okay. Let's review the things that we did last week. We'll spend 5 or 10 minutes on those, unless you had a question, Rogelio?
No, just
Okay.
adjusting.
Just adjusting. Okay, good. Okay, so last time we started in punch that we were in punch down. We did turn body, chop with fist, parry, block, and punch, and then the right heel kick. So let's start with punch down. So we're in a left bow stance, and let's just do this a few times together. I'll just call cues, and let's see how we go. So we're in a left bow stance, punching down. We've done the punch down. So recall that your fist is about knee height. Your arm is about 45 degrees. and probably your torso is at roughly 45 degrees as well. Turn body, chop with fist. Shifting back your weight, begin to straighten the torso. Turn to the right. Keep your palm facing down, even though you've still got the fist. Shift your weight onto the left leg. Bring in the right arm. Step out and chop as the heel touches. Now keep shifting your weight forward and strike with the left arm. Let's do that again. So from punch down. And actually, here's another place where we can think about head up. So make sure that you're not, like, your head isn't dropping. You've got this extension through your spine, or the string pulling up, even though your torso is actually leaning probably almost as much as it ever will anywhere in the form. So you've done punch down. Turn body, chop with fist. Start straightening up your torso as you shift back weight. Turn into the right arm. Shift back onto the left. Step out and chop with the right, about nose height. Shift weight forward, strike with the left hand. Check your ending posture. The right fist is by the right, in front of the right hip. Parry, block, and punch. Shifting back your weight, rotate the left, bring the right hand up. Extend out the right forearm, pulling with the left arm. Circle down. Look to the back corner and step. Shift your weight onto the right foot. Step through, block, and punch. Let's do that one again. I'll turn around. So we've done parry, block, and punch. So we're in a right bow stance. Check that your fist is here by the hip, that your chest is sinking, that you don't have your chest open. And we'll do parry, block, and punch. So from here, shifting back weight, rotate the right arm up to the right shoulder, rotate the left arm. Now shifting back your weight further, connect out with the right forearm, left arm comes back. Pause for a second here, check that your fingertips of your left hand are pointing at the right forearm center. Now we're going to do our first parry. So circle down both arms, rotate the right arm, step and arms to this back side. Shift your weight onto the right. Second parry, arms either side of center line. Step forward, heel touch, block, and punch. Check your ending posture. You're in a bow stance. Your right arm is out straight from the shoulder. Palm is opposite the right forearm center. And the left palm is vertical. So Rogelio and Ronald, if you can, turn your palm so that it's like this, not like this. So it's, yep, like that. Yeah, very nice. Yes. Okay. And so let's go on from there. So we've done the parry, block, and punch. We're going to do a right heel kick. So the beginning of this transition is very much like step up, grass bird's tail, and then we do a right heel kick. So from parry, block, and punch, left bow stance, shift forward weight slightly, opening both arms, open your left toe to the corner, reestablish your weight on your left foot. Open the right palm, shifting your weight forward, right arm circles down and up, look in the kicking direction, and kick. Let's do that again. I'll face the screen. So we've done parry, block, and punch. Let's just make sure that we're good on the transition here. So the first thing that happens, shift back weight, both arms open. So the left goes to the left, right goes to the right. Check that your right fist is sort of on the diagonal here. And you're holding a fist, Ronald. So you've got a right hand is in a fist. Yes, very good. Now, as you shift forward your weight, the right arm is going to circle down and come up. Crossed arms and kick. Yes. And stop. And so the other thing to remember is when we do a kick, the arms are going to rotate at a constant rate to go from palm in to palm out. From this position, they arms rotate at the same speed all the way to here. Yes, that's nice, Ronald. So we try to avoid coming part of the way and then doing a flip and going forward. Let's do that together again, one more time. So we've done parry, block, and punch. Left foot forward would help. Shift back, weight, open the left toe, left arm to the left, right arm to the right. Check your right fist is diagonally. Shifting forward, weight, right arm circles down and makes a cross. As you look in the side direction, flex your right foot, heel kick, and bend your knee, bring the foot back in again. Yep. Let me watch you do that sequence and we'll see how we are doing. The first thing I want to review is with turn body chop with, from punch down, turn body chop with fist. So and this one is for you, Ronald. Let's focus on the right arm. So the right arm, you've done a punch down with the right arm. As you turn, you're going to turn and you're going to keep this fist down here in front of your stomach. So it's almost as if this fist is on a rail and you're pulling it on the rail with body turning. Yes. And so when your fist is in front of your stomach, now you can do the chop. So from here, so let me face you. No, it's probably best this way around. So we've done punching down. So our torso is leaning forward slightly. Before we start turning, get your torso sort of in line with your back leg. Now everything can turn. Rotate the right arm and keep it lower. Keep it in front of your stomach like that. Yes. So then as you step out, you can chop. Yes. And a small one for you, Rogelio, with this one. When you do, so this turn is really nice. You've really got that rotation. Now I want you to think about this being a stick with a piece of iron on the end of it, and you're going boom like this. It's up like this. That's the chop. And it's chopping, and when you finish, the face of your palm is vertical. Yep. And good. Yes. One small refinement there. When we do the chop, what I'm noticing is with some of us, we finish with the chop with the arm and the wrist sort of in line. It's like this. It's not like this. It's like this because you're chopping to the face. So this back of your hand is vertical. Then you pull it down. Yes, very nice, Rogelio. Good. So we've got turn body chop with fist. One small thing to do on the parry, block, and punch. So what you're all doing really nicely, and this is difficult. A lot of people struggle with this, which is shifting weight back, lifting the right hand in front of the shoulder and connecting out to here. Now, the one thing, when you connect out, I want you to imagine this left arm is in ward off, and your left fingertips are pointing to your right forearm center, so that there's this circle running down your left arm to the right forearm center, so that you're in this position. Yes, Lorraine, if you can, so what I'm seeing, it looks a little bit like this. If you can make your left arm a little rounder, so this wrist here, rather than this position, try and get it more in this position so that it's more rounded. It's looking a little bit flat, and that may be a limitation on your wrist right now. But this is just exactly the same position. When we do roll back in the first section, this position, it's exactly the same position of the arms. It's this roll back position. Yep, that's very nice. And then with the heel kicks, the standing up is looking good. Just a reminder that, and this is a small thing.
Question.
Yes.
So you never lose your fist since you're going from punching down into.
Correct.
We never opened this. hand, right?
So you've done a turn body chop with fist. You're here. You do parry, block, and punch. Then the fist only opens when you come up and cross your arms before you do the kick. That's when the fist opens.
The fist even comes from punch down, so it's a free
Correct.
movement.
It's been in fist shape all the way from punch down, and it opens only when it circles up to cross arm position. That's when it opens. Good
Great,
observation, Rogelio. Yep. Good. So let's. Are there any other questions about this? Actually, I've just noticed something. So, Ronald, what I'd like you to just do again there is, I'll show you what I observed. It could be a camera angle thing. From punching down, it looked like your right hand was floating up quite high, and then you did the punch quite high. I'd like you to keep this right hand down here so that when you do the chop, it comes from down to up. So when you turn around, try and keep your fist like that. Yes. And then it chops up. Very nice. You got it. You got it. Okay. Any other things? And Rogelio, now that you practice that, when you turn, yes, keep it down. You got it. Good catch. Yeah, there's one of the Alan, who some of you know. He says, like, you always have to keep 100 things in your head, and like you fix one of them and you forget one of the other 100. So that always happens. So we're going to talk about strike tigers, and let me demonstrate strike tiger. And if I do it in the same direction as you, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the front, we've done the right heel kick. Then the first thing you're going to do, you're going to sink, step, circle, step out, and you're going to be facing away from the front. So you're going to be facing away from the camera when you're doing, away from the screen when you do this one. So this is the first one. And then the second one, you turn and do it on the other side. And now I'm facing the other way. So we have this challenge, particularly on Zoom, because you're facing one way, I'm facing the other way. It's going to be hard to keep an eye on each other. We'll play with it and see how it goes. So before we start, does anybody have any questions about strike tigers? Now we'll break it down, but before we begin, any particular issues that any of you have had with it? No. Okay, good. So let's break it down. We are going to start, and I'm going to go in this direction, I think, so that I'm going to, if you face in the same direction, if you face to the right, we'll be going in the same direction. So we're just going to do the footwork first. So we've done the right heel kick here. We're going to sink the weight and step. So the right foot is going to go to the corner. It's parallel to the left foot. We're going to shift the weight over to the right. Check the distance between your feet. You'll see where, probably depending on how wide you step, for me, it's more than shoulder width apart. So I will bring in my left foot and then step it out to bow stance width, flatten the foot, bend the knee. So this is the advertised, this is a transition from a one-leg stance to a bow stance. So let's just review that. So we're up here. You're going to sink. You're just going to extend your leg and put it down wherever it lands. It's probably going to be just a little bit, if you have parallel lines, to the side. It'll be a little bit behind your left leg, but both feet are to the corner. Shift your weight onto the right foot. If you're more than shoulder width apart, bring the left foot in a little bit, step out, heel touch, flatten the foot, bend the knee. So that's the footwork in this one. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a repeat. This is going to be turning from one direction, the body direction turns through 180 degrees. If you remember when we did at the beginning, or all the time, we're in grassbird's tail, we're in push, we come to single whip. So we turn through 180 degrees. The only difference here is in the form so far, we've always started in a right bow stance and turned to a left bow stance. Here we're going to start in a left bow stance and end up in a right bow stance. So we're just doing it on the other side. The thing that we have an opportunity to check, though, is how you make the transition. So if we, let me go in the same direction as you. So I'm going to go from a left bow stance to a right bow stance. Shift my weight back, turn the left foot through 135 degrees. Shift my weight onto the left, pick up the right, now step wide enough into a bow stance, heel ball toe, bend knee. The challenge for all of us is getting this front foot to go through 135 degrees. So let me just review this with you. I'm sure you all know this. I just want to review ways in which you can make that turn easier and offer you some ways of alternative ways if you can't get it around. So if you're close, so shift back weight, turn. One thing you can do is keep your weight on the, in this case, the right side. Keep your weight on the right side and lean your body in that direction. You'll find if you keep your torso vertical, it's harder to actually bring your foot around. So make sure you lean your torso. The other is to keep your left leg bent. If your left leg is straight, your foot won't come as far around. So when you come around, shift back weight, keep your weight on the right, pivot, lean a little bit, bend the left leg, and bring it around to, hopefully, roughly the corner. Pick up, release your hip, so now both feet are pointing to the corner direction, pick up, step out, bow stance. Now, does anybody have trouble getting their foot around? Okay, good. So Lorraine, I'll offer you two ways. Just remind you, there's more. One way, shift weight back, bring your left foot as far as it'll go. Keep your weight on the right, pivot on both feet so that both feet are now to the corner. Your back foot, your left foot is now in the right orientation for a bow stance. Shift onto the left, step into your bow stance. So let's do that one again. That's the first accommodation. Shift your weight back, bring your left foot around as far as it'll go. Keep your weight on the right, pivot on both balls of the feet so the feet are now to the corner. Shift your weight onto the left, pick up the right, and step. Some people find that one a little bit difficult because you're pivoting on both balls of the feet at the same time. I find that what makes it easier is if you keep your weight on the right foot. If you bring your weight back here, it's harder to turn. So keep your weight here and turn. There's another way. The other way is turn first, close your foot later. It's a bit like when we do diagonal flying from step back repulse monkey. So let's review that one. And so you can choose which one you like. So here we're in a left bow stance. So shift back, turn the left foot. Let's say the left foot just goes to the straight direction, doesn't go all the way. shift back weight, pick up, step out into your bow stance. Now as you come forward, bring that back foot and to the correct 45-degree direction. So that's another way of doing it. Let's just do that together again. So we're in this left bow stance, shift back weight, turn the left foot as far as it goes, keep going, step out into your bow stance, and now fix that foot at the end. So that's another way of doing it. Pick one. And if one of those don't work, we've got more. Okay.
At the end, left foot is facing the corner and the right foot is facing straight ahead.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Body is,
I'm sorry, say again, Ronald?
the body also straight ahead?
Okay,
Or is it
so
slightly
the body is not going to, your chest is not going to be square to the side direction, because when we actually we'll in fact, in this case it will be, because we're going to start from, we're here, we're going to start from this position. Our chest is square. Once we've done the transition, the chest is going to be square again. Now, that's not the case when you go from push to single whip, right? Because in single whip, your chest is sort of open. Your chest isn't square to the side. But in this case, because you've got these two arms, your chest is square. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the arm movements. Let me just show you the arm movements. Practice with me if you want, and then we'll just practice them a couple of times. So the way the arm movements work is, so let's say I'm going to go in this direction. So I've done a right heel kick here. Sink step with body shifting to the right. The left arm circles around. I'm going to step and look. So my gaze comes to the front, my chest is still open to the side. Now as my foot flattens, my arms are going to circle down. And then as my knee bends, I'm going to do the punch. Then I'll turn around so you can see me coming the other way. So from here, we're going to shift weight back, pivot 135 degrees, however you do it. Both arms go to the left side, step. So when you step with the heel, the hands are to the left, and you're looking to the front direction. You've just done a step here, so you're looking in this direction. Toe is up. Foot flattens. The arms come around, and then the arms strike here. And this is where, if you think about the arms, it's very easy because we're punching here and we're thinking, I'm going to punch. We lean. So pay attention that you don't lean. And if you see leaning, go, aha, he's leaning. You shouldn't be leaning. Let's practice the arms. They're the same on both sides. We're not going to do the footwork. So just face the screen. I'm going to mirror you. It doesn't actually matter because we're just going to do it over and over again. But if you think about it, we started with a right heel kick with the arms to the right. So we're going to start, so the arm should be, if you're mirroring me, this is your right hand. So the arms are to the right. What's going to happen? We'll do one arm at a time. So the arm that's across the center of your body is going to come down, go all the way up, and punch to here. So the arm that's at the, pointing to the side is going to come all the way around your body, all the way around, and punch at the top. The arm that's on the same side here is just going to come to the center body and punch. So that's all it's going to do. It's just going to come to here. So observe, in the same time that this arm has got to go through 3/4 of a circle, this arm goes through 1/4 of a circle. So that means this arm goes a lot slower than this arm because they have to start moving and end moving at the same time. Yeah. Now you've got, because you've all done the form, you've got the basics you understand the basics. Let's just remind ourselves of the arm movements here. So the arms start, the upper arm is, palm sitting. If there's a light shining, it's probably shining in the corner direction. This arm is horizontal, fingertips to forearm center. We'll focus on this arm first. It's going to come down, it's going to come up, and right at the last minute, you're going to make a fist. And you're going to try and make sure that you're punching straight here. So the side, this side of your fist is coming straight to the front. Yeah. The other arm. So the other arm, so this would be your right arm, is going to come in. It's going to make a tiger's mouth. So the tiger's mouth is going to be facing in this direction. And at the last minute, it's going to make a fist. So I want you to feel a deflect here, and then it's going to make a punch. Same thing. Side of the fist is vertical parallel. The other thing to remember is that when you do this, let's say here, you want to imagine that you're holding a stick, a broomstick or a ruler. It's vertical this way. If you think about, the fist and the fist, it's vertical this way and it's vertical this way. So you don't want to be like this. It's very easy for us to be like this. This is a little bit harder. So we don't want to be like this. We want to be vertical line like this and vertical line like this. Okay, good. So let's practice that, and then we'll do the other side. So we're going to start with the arms to the side, circle them down, and punch. Now, from here, just drop your left arm to the left, and the right arm matches it. So now you're out to the left. Now you're going to do the same thing, but with the other arm. So circle down, up, yes. Circle down and strike. To the side. The one across your body goes a long way around. And drop. And so when you start, have your palm shoulder height, not up shoulder height. So yeah, so drop your elbow a little bit, Ronald, relax the shoulder. Yep. So the one across your body is going to go the long way around. The other one's going to go the short way around. Make fists at the last moment. Yep. And to the other side. Circle. And finish at the middle. Yep. Open to your left. One circles down. The other one circles up. Yep. To the side. Circle. And try and get them to arrive at the same time. Make sure that you have the top fist vertical as possible, bottom fist vertical as possible, and in line, forward, back. Yep, good. To the side. Again, circle and strike. Now, if you can, Lorraine, depends on the constraints you have, if you can drop your left arm a little bit so that it's not here but here, yes. And the right arm is sort of over the head. When we do the technique, I'll go and get Susan in a second. What we say is we're punching to the temple, but actually the hand is up a little bit higher when we do the form, but it's definitely punching high. So let me ask Susan to join us and let me show you the applications, and then we'll do some more fine-tuning. And I think probably this way around. So what's very interesting and sort of confusing about this one is implicit in this movement are various different techniques. So there are deflects and punches. So this arm in one technique is doing a deflect, and another one is doing a punch. Another one, this is a deflect, or it could be a punch. So let's just show how that might work. So I think we want that arm. So if Susan punches here, I'm going to do a deflect. So from here, this is a deflect and a punch. So you can see this. So now the bottom hand is a punch and the upper arm is a deflect. So again, so if she comes in, I'm going to deflect and punch. So that's this side. If she punches with the other arm, we'll turn around in a second so you can see better, but she's now punching with the other arm, I'm going to deflect with this hand. I'm going to deflect her from my center line, off my center line, and I'm going to punch with the other hand. So now the upper hand is a punch. Let's turn around, and she's going to punch with that side. So you can see I'm going to deflect and punch. So this hand does the deflect, while this hand does the punch. What I want you to notice is, the first thing is, this punch, you sort of know, it's very similar to fist under elbow. Same kind of technique. When we do fist under elbow, the angle is slightly different, but you're going for the ribs here. This punch we haven't done yet. It's a punch to the head, but you know, all the punches, it's just there's an arm with a thing at the end and you go punch. The deflect, when she deflects here, it's a bit like when we do brush knee and push, right? So there we might deflect to here, but in this case we're going to deflect and circle all the way up. The last deflect, we're actually going to use a push as a deflect, and that's new. So she's going to punch here, and I'm going to deflect off my center line. So this actually is using a push as a deflect. Okay, are there any questions about that? Nope. Thank you, Susan. I think we'll spend more time on this next week. This took longer than I expected, but there's a lot here. So let's just start. Let's add the arm movements and the footwork, and I want to talk about gaze now. We were talking about, you know, the first principle, where are we gazing? So let's be clear about the gaze. So let's start. I'm going to go, I'm going to go in this direction so you can see the first one better. So we've done a right heel kick. I'm looking to my right. Sink step. As I shift my weight to the right, the left arm comes around, and since I'm stepping out with the left, I'm looking to the left. When my left foot lands, I'm looking to the front. So from here, I'm just going to turn around. You can keep practicing in the same direction. I'm going to do a sit step. I'm going to shift my weight over and step. When I step, when my heel touches, I'm looking to the front. Now what we're going to do is, as the foot flattens, the arms are going to circle. And what's going to make the arms circle is a body turning. So your body is turning from square to straight. And then when your arms are in this sort of position here, your chest is square, and then you're just going to do a punch because both arms are sort of symmetrical. The thing that is a pitfall I want you to look out for is, don't do this. Sink, step. As you look, turn your chest. Now my chest is sort of square. I've got no chest turning left to swing my arms. So even though your head is turning to the front, don't turn your chest. Turn your chest later. So look first, then turn the chest. Let's practice that together, and we'll add the turn. I think it might be easier if I start in this direction. Okay, so we've done the right heel kick. We're standing on the left leg. Sink, step, circle both arms to the right, step out with the left foot, look to the left, heel touch. Now as the foot flattens, both arms circle down. As the knee bends, you're going to punch. Now we're going to turn around, shift back weight, arms don't change. Pivot on the heel, arms don't change. Sink, step, arms don't change. Oh, sorry. Yep. Let's do that again. I was doing it too slowly and I lost my train of thought. Sink, step, arms come across, circle, pivot, arms don't change. Now, as you sit onto the left and relax your arms, you're going to look to the straight direction. Heel touch. Foot flatten, arm circle, and strike. Let's do that one more time, where we've done the heel kick, standing on the left leg, sink, step, circle the arms to the right, step out with the left as you look. Don't turn your chest. Now as the arm starts swinging down, to use that to use the chest to move your arms, punch forward. Check that you are your torso is vertical, crotch rounded. Now we're going to turn around, shift back weight, pivot on the left heel, arms don't change. As you sink onto the left foot, arms go to the left side, step out, heel touch. Now foot flattens, arms circle, knee bends, and strike. And stop. 同学们，再见。
老师，再见。